Get ready for the countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome once again to this week's edition, 4th of July weekend version of the Still Real Tough Show, available for download at wheelhouseradio.com and wrestlechat.net. At least in my part of the woods, we are live from my parents' basement. I am Jeff Peck, joined as always by the man down south, the Redneck Revolution Rise Up. Welcome back once again. Always on the show, Mr. Co-host himself, the one and only Trey, Captain Obvious, Dent, CO. What's up, my man?
You can't spell co-host without CO, so that's why I'm here.
That's right, brother. Captain Obvious and I, on this special edition, or what we like to call, Captain, the special shows, we will be for 4th of July. We're in pre-recorded mode. It's 4th of July weekend. We're enjoying the barbecue with our families and friends. And so we decided that we would spend this week discussing with Raw's 1000th episode, which, by the way, Captain, I don't know about you, but at least for me, and when I use the word professional, I use it very loosely when it comes to myself. I have a very tough time, for some reason, saying 1000th episode. Do you have that problem, or is it just the stupidity that is Jeff Peck?
Well, I am no English major, no linguistics champion, but for some reason I don't really try to say it. I just say that the 1000th Raw. I just try to think about the episode parts, because for me, Michael Cole uses that whole thing, the longest weekly running episodic show in television history. That to me is maybe worse than him saying, and I quote. Like, I am completely sick of him saying that, and so I just try to ignore it as much as I can as far as actually putting it into the context of 1,000. Because for one, it makes me feel really old also that I've actually watched probably close to 950 of the 1,000 Raws that have aired.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when I was thinking about it before, first off, it's amazing that Raw has reached 1,000 episodes, and I think from here on out, I will just say Raw 1,000 and not make myself sound like a total moron. I'll leave that up to the great listeners to make that distinction. But nonetheless, amazing that it's reached 1,000 episodes, and I'm sure you and I will talk about it a little bit more when the actual episode happens a couple weeks from now. But I'm in the same boat as you, man. I mean, there has to be, and I was trying to rattle my brain for a little bit. I mean, there's been instances during the Raw era where, that I haven't been watching for a little bit, but it was a short period of time. I would say, just like yourself, maybe at best 50 episodes, and any episodes that I've missed, I caught up on thanks to WWE Classics on Demand that's at my house. The older episodes of Raw, or at least refreshed my memory with some of those episodes. So, you and I, man, I'm in the same boat. We have seen at least, 95% of these 1,000 episodes, and I think it really says something. Most of the time on this show, we're wrestling fans, we're very hard to please, but most of the time on this show, we don't really give a lot of credit that should be due to the WWE. But for the fact that for close to 20 years, there's been a show on Monday nights, a staple every Monday night, 1,000 episodes, you got to tip your cap to WWE for such an amazing accomplishment.
And especially in a time where, there are constantly rebranding of shows and products that are out there. I work for a company that's currently getting ready to relaunch their brand again nationally come June 26th. That's Blockbuster, because it's kind of fallen out of the mainstream culture. At one point, like the other day, I was watching a movie. I think it was from like the early 2000s, and the guy mentioned the only thing he ever carried in his wallet was his driver's license and his Blockbuster card, and that was such a staple of society that had kind of drifted away. Whereas Raw, it's never really outside of the brief part of the Monday Night Wars in the beginning, was never really out of national consciousness. I mean, wrestling fans always knew Monday nights I got to throw it on Raw, and then there was that time during the Monday Night Wars where people would either record Raw or just read up on what happened afterwards because they were so hooked on Nitro. But that was just for 72 weeks, basically just about a year. And outside of that, it's been, the number one show on cable, just, regardless of what network it's been on, time slot it's been in. It's been, to me, as much a part of my culture as Monday Night Football is.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it is been able to stand the test of time. It has had foes such as WCW Monday Nitro that, eventually WWE bought WCW. I mean, they lose in the rating wars to Monday Night Football, but at one time, they were beating Monday Night Football. You go back to the Attitude Era, and WWE was pulling out better ratings than Monday Night Football was on ABC when it was on ABC at the time. So, I mean, you really got to tip your cap to WWE, and I think it's going to be really a lot of fun for you and I to go back and, go back to these 1,000 episodes and talk about our favorite moments and matches. On this episode, Captain and I are going to be giving you our top 5 Raw moments, and then we're going to give you our top 5 Raw matches of all time, and we're going to have a lot of fun with this. I think it's going to spark a lot of interest, and especially going to spark a lot of debate, not only between Captain and I, but more importantly, you, the listener, which is, something that we try to reach every week. And to put this in perspective even more, Captain, is as you and I sit here and we do the show, it's episode number 125 of the Still Real to Us show for July 5th, 2012. We started in February 2010, and we haven't missed a show since. That's 125 episodes straight, and that isn't even a blip on the radar when it comes to what WWE has done with their episodes week after week after week. I mean, that even more. I mean, you and I do this, and we put a lot of work into these shows, a lot of production work and all that stuff. And I mean, that's a big job. It goes beyond just the wrestlers and WWE. I mean, you really got to tip your cap to these production teams that have been there through and throughout. That set up the stage, set up the rings, and it's I mean, when you really think about it from that standpoint and kind of take and remove the wrestling fandom from your personality, it's like, wow, for these 20 years, close to 20 years, for WWE to continue to pump out this show, revolutionize cable and wrestling, it's come a long way from the Manhattan Center in New York City.
If you go back to the early episodes of Raw, I just saw how corny and cheesy and the production value was back at the Manhattan Center, and it was typical WWE product in a lot of ways. It's with Vince McMahon being the corny voiceover guy, and then you had Macho Man, and they brought in I can't remember the guy's name, but you know off the top of your head, the comedian who was only on the show for a couple months and then gone, but from where it was then to where it was to where it is now, it's just a huge change. The fact that they've the name the same and haven't tried to spice it up with a name change or do something crazy like that, which is typical WWE for the most part, is really impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you brought up there before that they lost, they had Rob Bartlett on there from, God, I can't think of the guy's radio show now, and he was on there for a little while, and he was gone, and you had Heenan and Monsoon, and they were gone, and Vince McMahon was a guy who was doing color commentary, then he became the evil owner, seeing it from the new generation, it really started out with that Hulkamania generation, so when it went from Hulkamania to the new generation to the Attitude Era to what it is today, they've been able to succeed and strive and continue to keep going forth. And so, because of that, WWE making it here today, 1,000 episodes, and Captain and I will be reliving some of our favorite top 5 Raw moments and matches today, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, Captain, let's kick it right into gear. Let's give it right off to you. What is your number 5 Raw moment of all time?